Be ready for dictation. 5 seconds to go. Start. Sir, regarding the prices of articles which are in daily use, the people are put to lot of inconvenience and nuisance. I would therefore request the government to introduce effective control over all these articles of consumption and other daily necessities of life which are required by the poor people in the villages. Even the cost of medicines is going up every day, and there is no likelihood of its being brought down. Those engaged in the trade say that because of the foreign exchange difficulty, they are not able to get the medicines in sufficient quantities at competitive prices. After all, medicines are indispensable even to the poorest of the poor. So, the government must see that sufficient foreign exchange is made available for this purpose. I want the state governments to address the government of India in the matter and see that the much needed relief is afforded to the poor. As for minor irrigation works, I find that the work has been very slow. In many places, there has been no desilting, and many tanks are still in a state of disrepair. Nothing has been done so far. The government must see that they take up this work and complete it at least before the end of the next year so that the food production may be stepped up. There is then the electricity minimum charge. Even with regard to that, there has been so much of harassment. Something must be done to reduce the minimum charge so that the farmers may get some relief in the same way as those in the industrial sector. This is a very serious problem, and the government should influence the electricity board to see that the minimum charge is brought down considerably. Lastly, there is a lot of delay in the disposal of cases by the officials of the various departments of government. Farmers and the poorest of the poor do not get orders early, with the result that they are put to a lot of inconvenience. So the government must see that they tone up the administration and give a proper drive to the district officials to dispose their papers in time so that the poor people may get some relief. I am sure the government will do so and thus give relief to the poor. This is all my submission. With these words, I thank you for the opportunity given to me. To begin with, I confess to a sense of secret satisfaction that I have been given this opportunity of meeting friends of a profession to which I once belonged, but from which I severed connection more than 50 years ago now. It is really good in this way by short contracts to be reminded of what I was once engaged in and what I tried to do in my own humble way in that profession. I am one of those who do not believe that the work of lawyers is finished. You all know that our entire constitution is based largely on British model. Our administration of justice also is largely a copy of the system that prevails there. We know what importance the British Constitution has for the British people and we also know how the judicial administration has stood the test of time and how it has proved that, in spite of party wranglings on the political platform, how justice has always been able to keep itself above all parties, how judges have been able to dispense justice fairly and freely to all who have come to them, and now it has been the anxiety and the effort of all parties concerned to keep judiciary above any kind of suspension. The mere fact that we have copied those institutions ought to be a guarantee that in this country also, at any rate at present, and so long as our constitution, the present constitution, lasts, there can be no fear of lawyers, of law courts, of judges losing any of the great importance which they enjoy. And as a matter of fact, we have even now many of our top people who are engaged in the administration of the country who were lawyers. And even if it be true that we are not ruled by lawyers, now there is no question that we are to be ruled according to law. And in order to be ruled according to law, there must be lawyers to point that out and lay down the law. One of the things which I have sometimes considered rather unfortunate is that while we have provided rather meticulously for the independence of our judiciary and have also provided in a way for the assistance to be given to judges by lawyers in administering the law, there is no provision anywhere that those who make the law know any law at all.